And we are live. All right, you guys. What's going on? I don't even know. I have so many. I got to start switching. This is healing beyond humanity. We are now in healing beyond humanity. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, shit. We're going to give a couple minutes for people to find us. Let me share this on my page also. Hopefully, if you guys are on here, let us know that you can hear us, okay? And you can see us, okay? All right. I know Debbie will be in the comments. All right. Okay, Louisa. All right, so I see the comments are working. Good, good, good.
Hey, Debbie.
I was like, I don't see anybody yet.
It showed me that she's watching
Oh, okay, okay.
since I have it on my phone also.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm gonna pull it up there too, just so I can have two devices paying attention. Is that our shining star in there, healing beyond humanity?
Yes, yes, it is.
Good evening, good evening.
I just realized that was you. The hello, ladies.
Oh, that's not me.
That's not? Oh, then it must be Debbie.
Yeah, I think it's Debbie. I was
Hey,
like, that's not
Debbie.
me.
Let me guess, it's Debbie. Debbie, if you hit the profile picture, um, it'll let you it'll let you choose to use your profile versus the group profile. And that is for Debbie Davis, not Debbie Manning.
Right.
Because of
Like
course you have two
right,
Debbies on.
we have a lot of Debbies. I think we have a couple Debbies, but the two main ones is Manning and Davis for sure.
Seriously.
All right. We know it's going to be a little confusing the first one.
We're just giving people some time to hop on.
And I'm drinking my much needed coffee because I was going to murder someone. Am I allowed to say that over here?
Maybe not.
Maybe not the same vibe. Not literally, you guys. Definitely not literal. Um, okay. Those of you watching, please drop us a comment and just let us know that you're in here, that you hear us, that you're present, so that we know who is watching. Don't be afraid. We won't single you out. We just want to know who's in here, who we're talking to.
Yes, yes, and more. Yes. Tag a couple of people.
Okay, I can see you. can see you, boo. Hey, Sherry.
I was about to say, you're seeing comments?
Yeah.
Okay, now they're popping up. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Who said they can't log in? They can't log into their Facebook?
That was
In the chat? You're
yeah.
dancing for us? Paste the link again. How are you guys doing? Or how are you, Debbie and Sherry? How are you guys?
She's dancing. Okay, Debbie. Double D. Debbie Davis is
Hey,
dancing.
Mandy. All right, we got some people rolling in. Awesome. Sherry is great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get pumped, right?
There we go.
We're just giving them a couple more minutes because definitely the first one, us doing it live and not in Zoom, it's a little bit different. So it's going to be a little chaotic, but we'll get it together.
I'll also put a timestamp of when we actually start for anybody who watches the playback.
Okay. They can just click that link. They should be okay to just click the link. No? Maybe not.
Debbie is talking to the laptop like we can hear her. Well, we are happy you're there too, Debbie.
Hey, Greta. Hey, Anne. Repping from Glasgow, Scotland. Awesome. Awesome to have you guys here. Of course, all of you guys, I know you. I know your faces. I don't see any newbies just yet, but that's okay. We are going to be getting started in a couple minutes, just giving, not seeing you on there as well. Is she on the page or is she in the group? She might be in the group. She might need to go to the page.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about all that because I know that is a little confusing. So I'm going to talk about the page versus the group and do a little tutorial. Oh, there you go. Boo, you got it. All right.
She made it.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I am going to do a little explaining on and get a little tutorial going on of the group plus the page because there is two.
All right, we've got 9 people watching.
9. Okay. I think we can go ahead and get started. Definitely start with the intros and then we can go back. If you guys, of course, you guys, those of you who have been watching and following, you've been hearing me talk about this nonprofit organization for a while now. And now, boom, we are official. I'm the owner and founder of Healing Beyond Humanity. My name is Ariana. Some of you guys know me as Divine Wound Goddess. Some of you guys are on the Thick Goddess Energy page, or you're in the Soul Tribe group, and that's kind of where you know me from. Sitting in the seat 3 years now of just helping through tarot, mediumship, energy work, shadow work. I also teach, if you guys didn't know, I have classes, twin flame, relationship, life, coaching, empowerment, goddess, energy, rituals. I think there's some stuff I'm going to forget. But the biggest thing of starting this nonprofit was to take what I do to another level. And I spend a lot of time giving back, and I love it. I absolutely love being a service and giving back and helping people grow and empower and get stronger in this life. And I wanted to do that on a grander scale. And so that is what started, boom, Healing Beyond Humanity. And just so happens, Spirit always sets it up to have some beautiful people around you. And so today with me is Louisa, who's also co-founder of Healing Beyond Humanity. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Louisa, aka Goddess Love. I have an array of specialties within my bank of tricks, I guess. I'm a nurse by profession, been in nursing for about 20 years now, just about. I'm a healer, tarot, oracle reader. I specialize in manifestation and law of attraction. I'm always a student, but always trying to advance my knowledge in things like astrology, human design, soul speak, etc., etc. I'm an adventurer and a traveler, and that's how I help to stay grounded to this 3D world.
Awesome. Awesome. I think we always forget. It's like, oh, should I just do so much? I need like do, do, do. Okay. So basically just answer what is Healing Beyond Humanity and what we are doing. So we are basically operating as a nonprofit, but we're utilizing social media to do so. So instead of setting up shop in a physical location, we are utilizing where we've been on the social media. So it makes it easier for us to access you guys all over the US and internationally. And we actually can help more people instead of establishing in a physical location at this time. So there will be opportunities for volunteers. And you guys watch the post. You'll see post about that, and you will be able to apply if you want to volunteer and become someone who helps other people as we are choosing to do. It is volunteer basis. There is no pay, right? And of course, even in the description, you will see the links if anyone watching this wants to donate to the foundation. Just so you guys know, we are not 501(c) yet. So of course, I know that gets a little complicated with the taxes stuff and things like that. But again, you can donate if you want to. Those links right now are going to be the GoFundMe link and of course my personal payment options that are in the description. Okay. But being that we are starting virtual, that means low cost, meaning very no cost. Only our beautiful time is what we're donating, being that we're doing it virtual. So what we are going to be doing, what are we going to be offering, right? What are we offering to you guys? Well, to start, we're going to be offering you not only tips, but information on where to start at healing. What is healing? What is the layers? What does that look like? Where do you go? And then we have beautiful healers like myself, like Louisa, and a few other people who are stepping up to volunteer their time and do sessions with you guys. Now, of course, we can't open up to everyone getting a billion sessions and things like that. We do have to start off slow because there's only a few of us, but we will be at least doing the education part with you guys where we talk and give you the tips, the tricks, the worksheets and things like that you can do. I will tell you that it is going to take you to want to change to do something. Even as a healer, and I wrote this down, what is healing? Because the definition of healing is a process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. And I want you guys to remember that word process. It is not one healing session. It is not two healing sessions. No one knows what you need till you start digging and unlocking the shit within you. We've all, myself, Louisa, we've all gone through our healing sessions and we've done many different modalities. Okay. When I say modalities, that just means different types of healing. And I can tell you it's unlocked something different every time. Every time I've done something, there's been levels. So you're gonna need to be the driver of this seat. And we're giving you a lot of really good information. It's up to you to take it. All we can do is give it to you and provide it. And again, we will start doing different types of healing sessions and stuff like that as we can open it, as we can schedule it again, because we're just starting out. So I want you guys to be excited for that, but also take the initiative to start to make these changes in your life. Okay. I want to read you guys our mission statement, because we do have a mission statement, and I'm proud of our mission statement that we created. All right. So our mission statement, the Healing Beyond Humanity's mission statement. It says, Healing Beyond Humanity is committed to teaching and empowering individuals who suffer from trauma, PTSD, grief, and mental issues who could not heal in the traditional sense. We are dedicated to bridging the gap between Western medicine and metaphysical healing to improve the mind, body, soul, and spirit. We provide support for those who seek a deeper understanding of a healing journey, styles of modalities, belief systems, and accessing ways to deprogram on a therapeutic and metaphysical level. That is our mission statement to you guys. And that is what myself and everyone that you see, with whether it's on this page or inside the group, because a lot of you were hopefully invited and you're over in the group also. If you see anyone who's doing stuff, there are people who are vetted, people who specialize in something, and they're going to be bringing something to the table. And they're also going to take a vow of this mission statement as they come aboard. Okay. Our core values for Healing Beyond Humanity are commitment. We are committing to show up, to commit to you guys, to give you guys valuable information, to do as much as we can within the means that we have, right? Or our authenticity means that I show up as me. I'm not pretending to be anybody else. Louisa's not being anybody else. None of the other ladies or anyone else. They are themselves. We are flawed. We have gone through shit. You know what I mean? Like we have our list of stuff, and we're still going through stuff in our life, but we've chosen to step up and do something greater than ourselves, because we know how it can help everyone, right? Requirement to evolve. Evolution is something that everyone should aspire to have and hold in your path. If you stay stagnant, you will never get to the next phase. Evolution is just, it's needed. You need to be able to change and grow, like Louisa said, staying the student. We might be teachers, we might be healers, we might be here to help, but we are also constantly the student and opening up for new things and new avenues. Okay. We also have accountability. Myself and everyone who comes aboard as a volunteer, they are holding themselves accountable. One, to show up when they say they're going to show up, myself included, show up when I say I'm going to show up, and to do what I say I'm going to do. That's the integrity behind it. Collaboration means that we are here to collab with anybody who wants to work with us on a grander scale. Anyone wants to network, collab. If you have a nonprofit, you want to collab in that way, definitely can do so in that way. Networking. We're here to network. That means if you got some skills, you got something that you think would be valuable for Healing Beyond Humanity and the people that are coming here for assistance, hey, get in my inbox. Let's collab, right? Humility. We're going to keep that energy of love and compassion towards each other. And remember that we are human. We all make mistakes. We all have a past. But the whole point is to come here and to reclaim your power is what we're here to do, right? And then empathy, which falls into that, is just having that same thing of looking at someone. And even if you can't walk in their shoes and you've never been in their shoes, but you at least have the ability to try to be open to understand where somebody is coming from. And communication is definitely key. We cannot change without communication. So that means listening as well as speaking up. And I want you guys to be avid people who speak up, who say things. And we're going to talk a little bit more of why I say that and why I bring it up, and why it's so important to use your voice. And most of you guys have been silenced throughout your life. So you're going to see using your voice is going to empower you each time that you do it. And then fun. We got to have a little bit of fun. It can't be all serious. So that is our core values to Healing Beyond Humanity. And I am thanking each and every one of you guys who watch this, who show up. We will also share this into the group for anyone who misses it. And then next week, I think next week we'll just go ahead and go into Zoom, because I think we have enough traction to just go into Zoom. I don't think we need to do a live. So if you guys are better and want the Zoom for next week, just drop a comment, let me know. And we can probably just go ahead and go into the Zoom setting instead of doing it lives. But we wanted to just talk and kind of like, touch bases with you guys and see where you're at. If you guys want to drop where you're all from, that would be great too. I see PA, we got Michigan in the building.
Yeah, I dropped a comment asking them to let us know where they're all from.
Okay, is that Wisconsin? I never say it right. Is it Wisconsin? Wisconsin?
Northwest, see, now you got me saying it mixed up. Wisconsin?
I think it is. And then if you guys are already in the group, let me know. If you're not, I know it's going to get a little confusing because we have the page and then we have the group that we set up. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to share my screen just so I can kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. So I'm going to share my screen real quick with you guys. We got New Jersey in the building.
Can you share your screen from StreamYard? Oh, I guess that's yes.
So, right. Oh, my bad, y'all. Sorry, my Facebook doing some weird shit. Okay, so most of you guys right now, you're on this page. This live is on this page. It's the Healing Beyond Humanity page. So this is where we will do some cool lives. We will post the events on this page. Upcoming things also will be on this page, just so you guys know. But if you come to the more and go to groups, you're going to see this one that says Healing Beyond Humanity Nonprofit. You want to be in the group. You want to make sure that you're a member in the group, because in this one, we're actually going to be posting the tips. We will have printouts. We will have things that you guys can print, exercises, small quizzes and things like that you can come back over here and you can print and work with. If you go to this button right here that says guides, that is where nothing is in there right now, but it will be. So that'll be where you can go. And then I'll also have the events posted in here. Anything that's important, you'll see it up here and featured when you go in the discussion.
Sorry, because I can only see the top of it.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix it again. Okay. Can you guys see that?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys actually saw how I got here. So if you're on the page that you're on now, you go to more and then you go to groups. Okay. And then it's going to show you the Healing Beyond Humanity Nonprofit. That's the one that you want to be in, because that is going to be where I was saying right now, you're going to see all of this. What's ever featured, the calendar. We're going to put, like I said, tips. We will put printouts and things like that under the guide. So you see the guide button. Make sure that you'll be looking in there. That's where you're going to find anything that we say, go over there. It'll be in there. Okay. And then, of course, the Zoom videos, we will post it in the group. So just so you kind of know where to look, because I know it's a little confusing. I just wanted to say that. So is anyone not in the group that needs the link to join the group? Let me know, and we'll pop the link in the comments. Palm Springs in the building. So the next week, just so you guys kind of can mark it on your calendars. The upcoming schedule, of course, today we started at 8:30. We will start 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA, every week, every Thursday. So wherever you are in the world, you need to convert your time. Okay, convert your time. Because everyone is so all over, it is very hard to get the perfect time for everyone. So we know that internationally and for ourselves, this time is normally the best time, but probably not for everyone. So next Thursday, we will go ahead and do the Zoom. And this, we're going to talk about a little bit about trauma, what trauma is, and what healing is, going in and give you some tips and stuff. Whatever we don't finish today, we will go ahead and carry on for next week. And that's kind of how the classes will flow. And then we'll go into the next topic. So class 2's topic is going to be triggers. You got class 3, which is going to be surrendering to suffering. Class 4, which is going to be confrontation to blockages. And class 5, which is going to be patience and compassion. We're also going to do a bonus clearing. So we do have a healer, Vera Lynn. You guys saw me post pictures of her and kind of her background. She's actually going to be doing the clearing. She specializes in geo-love. You guys will see her next week, and she'll introduce herself and talk to you guys next week. And she's agreed to do a group clearing at the end of this month. So that's the bonus at the end of the month. So you definitely want to attend. And then that way you can attend that group clearing. And then as well, I'm going to do a group meditation clearing and love in, I think it's next class. I can't remember.
The third. I think it might be the third.
Okay. It's one of them. So you definitely want to be in there. So any questions from anyone so far before I start getting into some meat and potatoes? And did you have anything to add? I don't know if you...
No, you put everything in there.
Just a mouthful of bleh.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll just give a couple of minutes for any questions. You're so welcome, Sherry. I'm very excited because, along this path, I've learned a lot of stuff. So has the ladies that have helped me put the foundation together. And we're not done. We're still putting it together. But, we've learned a lot on this path, and it just feels right to share. Not everything has to be sold in packages, right? There are some things, and yes, we all got to pay bills, but everything doesn't have to be sold. So it feels good. If there's no questions, all right, I'm going to get into it. So the first things is the reason why we started this one is how to start your healing path, right? So of course, I did tell you guys, make sure you have notepads and pencils and paper and stuff like that so you could jot stuff down. That way, if you have questions, I will ask you guys, do you have questions? You can drop your questions in the chat, and then, we can go through them as we're going if you have a specific question, but I'll try to go through some of this and then we'll kind of stop, okay? One of the things is coming to a place of who needs healing, right? Most people think they're fine. Most people think I used to think I was strong and I was this and I'm good. That shit's behind me. And then you come to realize there's some area of your life that you're not thriving as good as you maybe would hope or want, right? It's either going to be your relationships failing or your career or somewhere in your life, there's going to be breakdowns. Even if no one knows, you're having breakdowns in your car, breakdowns in your shower, you're silently breaking down to yourself. You're spazzing out on people on little shit. There's going to be moments where you're like, wait a minute, something's off, right? There's moments when you're like, if you say to yourself, like, this isn't life, there's no way this is life. Those are your indicators like, hey, something's up. Exactly. Feeling stagnant. You're feeling like, oh my God, like, why am I here? Like, why am I here? Like, this is just, I feel blah. I feel, I have no energy. I just feel like, ugh. And so there's tons of the list of why. So healing is not just waiting until something traumatic happens. The healing path is just finding yourself, healing pieces of you that you didn't even know existed, and trying stuff outside of the box that leads to stuff that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that was a thing. Because most people, there's a lot of people who are like, you know what? I didn't have that trauma. Because when people say trauma, you think of, molestation, or you think of getting abused, or you think of some crazy accident that you were in. But then we have all of these small, and I don't want to say small traumas because every trauma is a trauma. But if you were young and someone went to jail, that's a traumatic experience, but people are like, oh, that's normal. It's not normal, right? If you were in a minor car accident as a kid, that's a trauma. Okay. So there's, if grandma died when you were little, that's a trauma. To me, I don't care when she died. That's a trauma. Okay. I think any death is a trauma. If you were not prepared for death, if you did not have the teachings of death as a part of life, I think death becomes a trauma for anybody. But I want to talk about this thing called the 10 ACEs of trauma. And what the ACEs mean is adverse childhood experience, okay? And the most common ones, people think what happens in childhood, abandonment, yes. Abandonment is one of the biggest ones that we don't realize is there is abandonment, which normally kind of kickstart your codependency on someone, whether it's your children, your family, your parents, there's your relationships, there's some type of codependency there, right? So some of the biggest one that we have to realize, of course, yes, we have neglect and we have abuse and dysfunction. How many people are in dysfunctional fucking families? Not even that's a part of trauma. Okay. Physical abuse, of course, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is big. A lot of people don't even look at that. A lot of people don't even realize that they have that emotional abuse. What is that? Where you know how most of the boys were told to suck it up? Most of the boys were told to man up.
Stop acting like a little girl.
Stop acting like a little girl. That's emotional abuse. They could not say or express themselves. Why do you think there's so many men that are out here struggling? And most of you can be like, yeah, Why do you think they're struggling? They're struggling because they had to repress that part of them. That's that emotional. Dysfunctional family is huge. Mental illness. If you had someone who had mental illness, bipolar, whatever, in your family or around you, that was traumatic. Okay. Divorce is very traumatic. I don't care what age you are. It is a trauma. Society says we're supposed to do this, that, and the third. And then when that life breaks down, that is a trauma. You can get PTSD from a lot of different situations. So it isn't always the huge ones that people talk about. And they're all valid. None of them are small. None of them are mediocre. They're all valid to each person. Okay. Marriage. When we're talking about this stuff, I think you got to kind of look at where you are, right? Because Louisa can't, we're not going to tell you leave your marriage. There's so many levels to a marriage and a relationship, and you really got to go like through the layers of what's going on. So just to say like, okay, well, what exactly is backwards about it, right? What exactly is happening? Because you're always going to be the one who defines what you're willing to put up with in any situation, right? And you have to be the one to say, is your marriage worth working for and fighting for, or if it's not? You got to start there first. And I always tell people, well, look at the pros and cons first and ask yourself, is it even worth staying there? Make that decision first. Then that can kind of help you of where to go next, okay? Substance abuse. If you had parents that were drinking or drugs or anything like that, that is a part of trauma, okay? Trauma started with your first marriage. Yeah, which, dealing with narcissists is a big one. Dealing with, there's more than narcissists, but there's a lot. Violence against your mom. If you saw someone hitting your mom, like my dad and my mom fought. He would hit her, but my dad never hit me. But still watching my mom be hit, that was huge traumatic experience. Like I said, so there's a lot of different things, and not everything is abuse of what people think. So you got to kind of look at your life and start to see, oh shit, I've had some stuff that's happened that, if you were a military child and you moved around, that's trauma. You had to start over and over and over again. Even if you weren't in military and you had to move around, you had to start over and over again. That's traumatic. There's all of these instances where you have to look back and start to say, remember, the biggest reason why we're bringing it up, it's not to say that people will tell you, oh, don't go into the past, that's the past. But I can tell you, your child version of yourself is still existing simultaneously with you energetically, okay? It's why it still hurts. It's why you're having issues. It's why things are not going, you're not living your best life. And it's because you have not dealt with that side of you. Okay. Um, so when you look at childhood trauma, any event, okay, that you've experienced that threatens your life or body integrity, okay, whether physical or other, and like I said, natural disaster. If you were a child in a natural disaster, that is a form of trauma. Scary
Oh,
as fuck.
all these COVID kids,
Yes.
that's a lot of them have trauma right now. My nephew being one of them, my older nephew. He became a hermit due to everything that happened with COVID.
Right. Right. I know a lady who moved to like the mountains, you know what I mean? With her and her kids. And it's like that isolation away from everyone. Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people don't think about that. If you were a kid that was sick and you were in and out of the hospital, that was trauma for you. Your life was different. Your life wasn't the same, right? Abusive situations are very harsh, especially because they tend to break you down and break your spirit down, you know. And anyone who's dealing with, like, has dealt with abuse, you really have to find ways to reclaim your power from that particular situation. Okay. Um, so to kind of know some symptoms, if trauma in general, some symptoms. Okay. Sometimes you can have an intense emotions when you don't want it. Like it should be a time where you can be peaceful and you're not. You're kind of like way out there. your your emotions are overload. Okay. You get upset very easily. Things kind of hit you really deeply, and people are like, "Why are you so sensitive?" Those are all parts and pieces that are telling you something's going on that you need to deal with, that you need to see or kind of look at. Okay. Depression is another one. Anytime you're stepping into this place of depression where you're feeling that or stagnant, you're feeling like you don't have any energy, you don't want to do anything. Those are prime examples that you're working with something that has brought some trauma to your life. You're not just sitting in a depressive state for nothing. And this is one of the reasons why we are kind of looking at mental health also while we're doing this. Okay. Anxiety is a huge one of the number one ones, to tell you like, hello, something's going on here. That anxiety is real. So if you are constantly like, oh shit, I have anxiety every day, that's not a normal thing to have. You go to the doctors. I know the doctors, and I'm not a medical physician, so I'm not going to tell you not to go to your doctors. But remember, Western medicine is to manage symptoms. It does what it does. It's to manage symptoms. Okay. It's not getting to the core issue. You need to get to the core issue and see why is this going on, right? Behavioral changes, right? That bipolar effect, the up and down, what is it? Impulse shopping, things like that, finding ways to make yourself feel better outside of yourself, spending too much money, maybe you shouldn't, and it would be unhealthy, not healthy ways, because healthy ways are great. Keep doing that. But the unhealthy ways, the stuff you feel bad for afterwards, the buyer's remorse, the comfort food eating, I need a whole bottle of wine to go to bed. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. A glass of wine is whatever, right? But the whole bottle is probably not the best, right? If you're having difficulties making friends, if you are having difficulties getting along with other people, if you constantly feel judged all the time, again, remember, we take everything internally and then we project our shit out on the others. Sometimes other people have nothing to do with us, but we take it so to heart. And most of the time we just have to take a step back and kind of say, oh shit, why am I so mad right now that this person is having a bad day? Why am I pissed off? Okay. Unhealthy attachments. We talked about the codependency. All right. We all know the person that we know is not good for us, yet we keep dating the same person, or you've dated the same person literally in every relationship. You're like, every one of them you can look at and it's like, damn, they're all the fucking same, different faces, same person. That's letting you know there's a trail of hurt that's following you that you need to look at. Okay. You said you heard go pull lots of weeds. That helps. I mean, getting outside, period. So when I was younger, I will tell you, when we did live in homes, I actually would go outside and pull weeds. And it was very soothing for me as a child. I was always in the yard. I was always with my feet, just because we always lived in like some crazy house that didn't have no grass and had all these weeds apparently. And I would just be out there pulling weeds, but it was so soothing.
You were earthing and didn't even realize it.
Like real shit. I was always the kid outside in the dirt. Like that was my life. Regression. Regression is kind of hard for people to understand. Even myself. There was I think early last year, I had an aha moment where I realized that I was still emotionally immature. So my response emotionally was like a fucking child, basically. And I was having these emotional tantrums when I wasn't getting my way in certain things. And I didn't understand that. And it was like, oh shit. I'm having some moments here, because normally when you deal with a situation and it doesn't go your way, you're not going to spaz out. If you know that in a moment you're crying, you're overly emotional just because you didn't get your way, you're going into tantrum mode. You're going into that little 5-year-old toddler of yours, or, I think I'm mixing up the 5-year-old and the toddler, but you know what I mean. She said, come and pull my weeds. I don't do it anymore. My back can't take that shit anymore. But when I was younger, not being able to focus. Your attention is all over, not being able to focus. That's some more of seeing like, okay, something's up with me. Overly daydreaming. There's one thing to have your dreams and daydream, but overly daydreaming, overly sleeping, because you don't want to be in reality. You'd rather sleep than deal with whatever's going on. So overly on social media, that also can be an issue, that. So, one of the things I want you guys to do is, some of you haven't even said what has happened to you. Some of you haven't even spoke about what has happened to you. I can say I was raped in my 20s by knife point, and I hadn't told or talked about it until I think it was like 2018. And I remember the person that I decided to tell, that person was really shitty. And they were like, yeah, that's normal for women. Like that always happens for women. And that was kind of the response I got. And it was just like, what the fuck? So that just added to my fear of, nobody's going to understand. No, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to understand. And then it wasn't until, again, 2019, getting in this path and starting to talk to you guys and people who are watching to say, you're not alone, that it's something that I went through. So, and it's saying it out loud and actually getting it off my chest after that was like so freeing, to just be like, you know what, this happened to me. I'm not alone. I am a survivor of this particular incident, right? So you can do that, of using your voice to speak it. And a lot of you guys you don't have to say or tell or go to someone. Talk to yourselves. Of course, when we get into the Zoom class, we will have it open to where you guys can, of course, talk to us, let it out, and things like that. We're going to work with you. Saying it, again, it happened to me, and not being embarrassed or, holding that guilt or shame to it. Okay. You don't need to hold guilt and shame to something that happened to you. Most of the shit that's happened to you is not your fucking fault, despite what you may think, despite what you may have been told. Okay. And so this is where you start to reclaim that part of you. You reclaim your power and your innocence. It's not truly gone. Yes, I know. It's not truly gone. Okay. I want you just to know, long-term side effects, though, with trauma does physically hinder you. Not to mention, do these things start to awaken in diseases and ailments? Some of the most ones that they have on here is asthma, heart disease. And I can tell you most people with broken hearts suffer with the heart disease. Okay. Most people that have that trauma have the heart issues. And I'm not going to say this for everyone. So, no one come for me with this translator and shit. Diabetes is a big one. Of course, we know depression is a big one. And stroke. You know how many people get stroke from anxiety, worry, stress? Stress is the killer, and we know stress is a killer, right? It's documented. So, these are consequences if you do not do anything or start some type of path, right? So, if yourself or even some of you who are parents, you're going to be listening to this and some stuff is going to start to hit you about your own kids and how to help each other, whether it's you or whoever it is that you're working with. Support is everything. Supporting each other in this path is everything. I cannot say that my healing path has just been myself alone. Yes, it's been me pushing to do things, of course, because you have to own that. But it has been the support and beautiful people that I have come in contact with that we have shared our burdens and our stories to let it go, to work through, and to keep moving. So support is everything. Okay. Encouragement to talk about it, encouraging to honor your feelings, encouragement to validate their emotions and feelings about the situation. You need to validate your feelings and emotions about what has happened to you, that it is okay. Some people will tell you, oh, it could have been worse. You've heard that enough. We know it could have been worse, but you still get to validate what you're feeling. You still got hurt. You still dealt with what you dealt with, So in here with us, you get to validate that. You get to stand in that. You get to honor what you've been through and not have to come with the shame and the guilt. Because that's how the shame and the guilt and all that kind of fester, when you're not allowed to express what you feel in the moment and you get told it could be worse. Could be worse, right? I actually had someone tell me that when I was talking about my first daughter dying, and she died of SIDS, and they were like, well, she could have died worse. It's like, you should be lucky she died in her sleep. And it's like, wow, thank you so much for that. People can be shitty, you guys. I know it. You'd be surprised at the shit that I've heard in this life. Answer questions honestly. Okay. So if someone's asking you questions, I would say when you're ready. Okay. When you're ready to talk. When you're ready to answer it, but stand in your truth. And you're going to see once you're standing in your truth that you're going to start to feel better. And that weight is going to start to lift off your shoulders little by little. Okay. Reassure, especially if you're dealing with other people and yourself, reassure that you're going to do everything you can to keep yourself safe now. Because remember, most of you are dealing with shit of your younger versions. Even if it was 5 years ago, 2 years ago, it's a different version of yourself. Now you're the one in control. So you're always going to be like, look, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to keep you safe now. I'm going to do everything that I can now to make sure that we're good now. And so that means you have to show up for you though, too. Putting others before yourself. Yep, that's another way of trauma, because you're focusing on everyone else and not you. So that kind of takes you, it's kind of like what is that word that I'm looking for? Kind of like what you do on purpose, subconsciously. You do it, and so you don't have to deal with yourself. So you put all the time into everybody else, right? And then stick to your daily routines as much as possible. So whatever your daily routine is, you want to stick with that, set a routine and keep that. And that gives you some type of normalcy and stability. Remember, you're dealing with the younger versions of yourself. You're dealing with the child versions of yourself. And so you have to give yourself some type of stable and normalcy to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're good. We're calm. Our days are good. And I know for not everyone, tomorrow you're going to wake up and your day is going to be, peaceful, because you got people you live with, you got other situations. This is going to trigger a lot of stuff for you, but start implementing some of these things. Okay. And that is what I have. So we're going to go into awareness. I'm going to give it over to Louisa.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you
any
guys.
questions before we jump into that? Just want to, any questions about trauma? And I mean, there's tons of lists of different trauma, but I hope I gave you enough to kind of see that even some things that we think are small are huge to us, and as an individual, owning it and validating it, and sitting there is great. You do have to be your best friend. Yep, self-love is what gets you through.
I know.
Self-love is key.
And Greta, you always have time to be concerned about yourself. You don't have to worry about yourself, but you can take yourself into consideration. You don't have to just always put yourself last.
That's an excuse, Greta. I got to call you out on that one. Okay. I used to be like that. Everyone needed me. And because everyone needed me, I felt I was wanted, I was needed. And that's a codependency. Okay. It's because you have to you're in a place of feeling unwanted. And so they need you. So you're wanted. Oh, I'm needed. I got to show up for everybody else. But when do you show up for Greta? Because the younger parts of you, the other parts of Greta are screaming and crying. Like, what about us? Everybody else is so much important, and we're just sitting here, la, 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 in the background, and Greta doesn't give a shit about us. So you have to change that and say it's time to put Greta first. I hear a lot with moms and caretakers, and I know it gets rough, but if you don't demand the time, again, it falls on you. It's not everybody else. You are always the common denominator in everything that we're going to go through and talk about in this class. So you have to decide that I'm worth the few minutes to do this for myself. And if you don't feel you're worth it, then here we have something to start. If you feel you're unworthy, okay, we're starting somewhere. If you feel, you're not important enough, there we go. We got somewhere. We're starting somewhere. You see where this goes? It all goes back to you. So you have to sit back and ask yourself, why am I not as important as everybody else? Why do I keep putting everyone before me? I know for myself, and I only can speak for myself, it was because I was needed, because that made me feel important. That made me feel like, I was needed. Somebody needs me. And so then you start thinking like, oh shit, I need me. I'm a fucking horrible friend to myself. Like,
Yes.
you know?
And a lot of the reasons that people feel like they feel good when people need them is because they don't feel like they're important, that they don't have any worth without that being needed.
Yeah.
So you're worth it. You deserve to be kind to yourself just like you were kind to everybody else. It's crazy because I've been looking for something like this. No judgment. I love it. I really appreciate it. Great, Isabel. Okay. All right. So
Right.
now we're going to jump into awareness. Now that you realize that you have spaces in your life that need healing, what do you do now? The first thing I would say is and just so that you guys are also aware, a lot of these things will overlap. We will keep reiterating. You'll keep hearing certain topics. So just to keep it in your memory bank. But recognize whether or not you're in a place where you're mentally and emotionally ready to tackle a certain healing. Because there are times where you may jump in to something and it pushes you back 3 steps instead of allowing you to move forward. If you're not in that place to handle it and you're trying to do it on your own, it's okay. Take a step back, maybe do some self-love, and then work on moving on to the next step of trying to heal. Being aware that as you work on one aspect of healing and trauma, other things may pop up. You may think, just like we were talking before with Greta, she doesn't have enough time for herself, but it could be when you get further into it, oh, maybe my worth is not as much, or this person is more important, or just different topics, not saying specifically Greta, or I don't deserve love. Like it trickles down the more you dig deep. So don't expect to go into the journey with, okay, I've worked through this, I'm good now, I don't have anything else, because there's always something else that we can work on and that we need to work on to help heal our heart spaces, our minds, bodies, and souls. Um, let's see. Realize that you don't have to work with a physical person. Let's say you have an issue with your mom and you cannot talk to her. You guys are not in a good space, or you're just not speaking on speaking terms. Realize that she would not need to be there in person. One, you can work with her spiritually, or any person that you have in mind. You can work with them spiritually, work with their higher self through your higher self. You can also just mentally put them in a space. You can write them a letter. You don't have to have the person there in your face. I think it's a routine. You got to put, yes, exactly, Shondell. Put yourself in the routine. That's how I feel. Never had a child, dealing with this now. Yes, Isabel. So as long as you're aware that this is something that you need to work on now, that's one of the first steps. So, but also realizing you don't have to work with a physical person in order to work on your healing with that person or that situation.
Which we're going to show you how to do that. That is going to be some of the techniques that we will show you guys how. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna just leave you all high and dry. Keep in mind, this goes kind of with the last one, that you can only work on yourself. You cannot change the behavior of someone else. You cannot create a relationship that another person is not participating in. This healing is for you. You may never get the apology or the closure the way that you think it's supposed to look. So often we think things have to end with somebody saying, oh, I'm sorry, I did wrong by you. And part of your healing is realizing that may never come. And you find a way to be okay with that. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Um, and yeah, unfortunately, many of us has learned that the hard way, Isabel. And another part of awareness is remembering that you have the power. Do not give away your power by allowing yourself to think, if somebody doesn't act a certain way or doesn't talk to me, I can't move forward. I can't do this. I can't anything. No, you are in charge. You get to control your reactions, your emotions. You get to decide how you are going to heal. You do not give anybody else your control. Um, yeah, and there's nothing that anybody else has to do in order for you to heal. The next thing is, remember, it takes time. The process isn't linear. It'll go up, down. There'll be waves. There'll be times where you think, oh, I'm good. And then somehow you get triggered. And then you realize, okay, maybe I still have some issues to work out on. That doesn't mean you haven't made any progress. We always move backwards and forwards. It's all about staying with it. And sometimes you have to allow yourself the time to feel your emotions. You don't have to work on it in that moment, but realize that it's not just one way. It's not just going to go, straight up. You're going to have those waves. And lastly, this is your healing journey. You have to be aware that no two people are on the same path. No two people are going to heal the same way. Don't try to take what somebody else has done and mimic their exact method, because it just may not work for you. And you have to be willing to put in the work. Nobody else can heal you. We're not here, even us right now, we're not here to heal you. We're here to help and guide you on this journey, but it's yours and yours alone. So you're not alone, but the journey is yours alone. And going into that and realizing, okay, so now I need to heal. There are many things that I'm aware of, and there's many more things. Like, these lists could go on and on and on. This is just a small synopsis for you guys, just like with these modalities that I'm going to mention. So remember, these are just methods of how you can heal. So keep in mind, there are many modalities, and once again, not all methods are going to work for all people. Therefore, we don't shame or push anyone to or from the method of their choice. Oh, excuse me. We're here to share and guide as needed, and you can also combine different methods to see what works for you. And it's also important to note that there are different price points with different modalities. So obviously you have to work within your budget. As we've mentioned before, some of these modalities will be offered within the group as we evolve. It'll be dependent on incomes, and there'll be free and low cost modalities, services to offer. I almost said healthcare. Sorry, remember, I'm a nurse. Okay, so we have traditional therapy, meeting with a practitioner to identify and resolve problematic beliefs, behaviors, feelings, and or relationship issues. And I'm just going, like I said, I'm just giving a very basic, quick synopsis for you guys. If you have any questions, you can always put them down below. Next one that I want to mention is shadow work, working with your unconscious mind to uncover and work with the parts of yourself that you hide from the world and even hide from yourself. There's past life regression, which is a hypnosis to recover memories from previous lifetimes, to heal trauma that has been carried over from different lives. We have QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis therapy, which is a hypnosis which allows you to have direct communication with your subconscious and higher self for your own healing. Then we have something similar, which is theta healing, which is where you go into a meditative state to develop and work with your intuition to change your brain waves with intention. Then we have Reiki, a Japanese energy practice that enables the practitioner to perform an energetic transfer, healing through their palms and or crystals. We have crystal healing, which is working with crystals, vibrational energy to help with your healing. We have a new one to me, which is Soul Speak, which is learning to heal through the messages you receive through your body, originating from your higher self or subconscious. We have Geo Love, which is also known as geometry healing, which is a connecting and healing of energy spaces and gaining of spiritual knowledge of self. And we have, Isabel says she needs them all.
I was going to say, boo, I have done damn near all of these. Let me tell you.
Facts. And then we have chakra healing, which is the balancing of the energy of the chakras to create a flow within the body and self. So these are just some of the modalities, a quick synopsis of each. There's different practitioners, and although we don't have anyone in the group yet, we do have some recommendations if any of them like hit you in the heart space, maybe not all of them, but somebody who may be able to help and assist you. And remember, everybody has a different method, their own styles. So it's also about getting with the practitioners and making sure that the vibes, that you vibe with them and their practice. Then we've got some, tips and tricks to help you get on the way, on the path. Meditation, um, sitting with yourself. There's different forms of meditation. You can sit in silence, sit with meditative music. You can do vision meditation. You can do guided meditations. Journaling, writing down how you're feeling, putting your thoughts into words on paper is sometimes so powerful, because you'll start writing and you think that you're gonna write one topic, and the way your brain can just flow, and you'll realize like, wow, I didn't even realize I was feeling all of this. I also like gratitude journals, which is where you write about the things that you are thankful for. And this to me is especially helpful when you're not feeling that you're in such a great space mentally or emotionally or spiritually, remembering that there are things in life that are still going for you. Another important one is making sure to meet your base needs, because so often we let things go to the wayside, um, because maybe we're in a funk, we're not feeling well, we're hurting. How often do you see somebody, oh, I haven't showered for a week because they're feeling depressed, or they're feeling as if they don't have any love because maybe a relationship ended, when they have family and friends that are there for them, or they're not eating or sleeping. So working on getting your base needs covered can do a lot for your mental space. Sometimes I know that I've been in a place where maybe I went too long without sleeping, and then I can't think straight and I'm irritable and nothing seems to go right. And I go to sleep, get a good night's sleep, and I wake up and things can be so much clearer by just taking care of me. Affirmations are helpful. Just reminding yourself, and okay, so with affirmations, you make it present and you make it positive, and you work on feeling the emotions. So affirmations like, I am strong, I am beautiful, I deserve love, I am worthy, I am enough, I am proud of me, I am loved, I am lovable. These are just a few that you could say to help you get a clearer mental state, and just feel better about yourself. Sometimes even putting post-it notes, or getting a special marker that you can write on your mirror, and you can put like an affirmation in the corner there, like whatever is connecting to you, or whatever you feel like you need in your heart space at the time. Exercise, moving your body, not staying stagnant. Sometimes, okay, Sandy, have a great one. Um, Exercise, moving your body, because our bodies hold a lot of energy, and even shaking it out or dancing is so good for your mental state when you have the ability. Obviously, I know some people have um, some disabilities, but if your whole body is not, able to move what you can, even moving your hands, moving your fingers, rolling your neck around, yoga can be so restorative. Hey, Francis. Um, Decluttering. Sometimes just cleaning your space helps you to clear your mind. Um, Start with something simple. Start with your desk. Start with your immediate area. Clear your bed off. Clean a closet. Clean your room. But decluttering has helped so many people just to free up their mind, free up that space. Yes, yes, Sherry. And yeah, Francis, I feel better also in a organized home. And create goals. And yes, you can have big goals, but those simple everyday goals. Sometimes just being able to check off a checklist of what you got done today can help boost your mood. It can help elevate your spirits. Oh, okay, she's talking to Debbie. Um, and just self-love in general, taking care of yourself, being generous to yourself. Um, and yes, we like the nice physical things where you go, you get your hair done, your nails done. But it's also about being gentle in the same way you would speak to a friend. That's how we should all speak to ourselves. We shouldn't be ashamed to put ourselves first. We shouldn't be afraid to take ourselves out on a date. There's so many things that we can do to show ourselves love. And just something else I would like to mention, all in all, if you need assistance in your healing journey, there's nothing to be ashamed about. We've all, like Ariana said, have needed help somewhere along the way, or we've had somebody come along and point us in the right direction, show us something that we weren't seeing for ourselves. So there's no shame ever in needing help at all. Let us know if you have any questions there. Debbie uses a sleep meditation. It's an option when she has a day that she doesn't take a time out. Yes.
Oh yeah, Tammy, definitely.
Agree.
Definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say, just it kind of made me think of even the way we talk to ourselves. So if you find yourself calling yourself stupid or calling yourself, I'm such an idiot, in those moments, stop yourself, send yourself some love, rephrase that, change the wording. If you see you speak about your younger versions of stupid, idiot, dumb. I was so dumb when I did that. Stop, change it, put some love on there, okay? And start to change the way you speak. That's a huge one. Huge one. I love it. I love it. Debbie is fucking amazing. You guys are gonna see her next week. She will be in the hot seat next week. She is amazing. So any questions about anything tonight? I will have the Zoom link. I will put that on in the group. I will post it in the group for next week. And of course, by the weekend, we'll have the tips and everything in there, as well as some worksheets for you guys. Make sure that you're looking underneath the guides in the group. That's where you're going to find what we went over tonight. That's where you're going to find the calendar. That's where you're going to find information and things that you can use to start your journey. Okay. And if there's anything that you guys just came to you that you think would be noteworthy, let us know. If you guys are cool, you guys could definitely go in there and leave reviews. You can leave a review on this page, but I'd rather you keep coming and then see what I always say and then review. You always can edit your review later should you want to. But of course, you can do that here. And as well in the group, you'll find our files, the girls, the ones that are volunteers. Those are the only ones I'm going to put up. And as people come along, you'll see me add, of course. And of course, I am definitely working with some amazing healers to get you guys. Right now, it won't be so much as one-on-one. It will be more group sessions of clearing and healings. And so if you guys are open to that, that is what I will probably be able to, especially on the free level, to get you guys because we're just starting out. So again, like Louisa said, we don't have a lot of people right now. We have basically Vera Lynn, who's a GeoLove facilitator. And then I am not, I do my own thing, meditation, healing. It's a little bit different. So it's a little bit different kind of way that I do my thing. So all the other ones that she mentioned, we do have some amazing people that we work with that we've met along this path that we can refer you out. Eventually, I will have a place in the group that will show you people that I have worked with personally and who I would refer to you, just as a side note, saying these are some people, not that they're affiliated with the group, but people that I have worked with. Right now, if you're in the other group, the Soul Tribe group, I actually have a place where some people are listed. Just I'm not crying. I'm working on channeling my body to be ready for another baby. It's been intense. Woo! I bet. You guys are so welcome. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in Zoom next week, Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Remember, look into the group. The group is where you will find the Zoom. We will also put it in the group chat that's available, but make sure you guys are checking the group, okay? So if there's no other questions, do you have anything closing you want to say before we end?
Thank you all for joining, and anybody who's catching the replay, hopefully you get something out of this as well.
So you guys catching the replay, or if you're on here, just leave some comments of how you're feeling. I don't want any of you guys to walk away from this ever feeling like shit. So I know that healing triggers, and it is triggering because when we're talking, things are coming up, things that you hadn't thought of. So just make sure to do something good for yourself today. Do something that makes you smile. Do something that that makes you laugh. Put on some music, like she said, dance. Do something tonight before you go to bed that just makes you feel better. Because remember, each one of these classes, we're going to trigger the fuck out of you. And this was only the beginning. It does get worse. Okay. So after each, and then especially in the Zoom, I definitely will be doing short meditations with you guys, probably ending the classes just because of how triggering it can be. So I want you guys to definitely put some time into you tonight. Make yourself laugh, smile, do something for yourself, okay? Yeah. Francis, I had that too. 27 years this year, my daughter passed. So I get it. It's definitely a huge one to work through. Huge one to work through. Right, Sherry? You got this. You got this. You guys got this. You guys have been through so much. You can handle your healing.
That you deserve to heal.
Right. Right. Oh, gonna send you, Francis, so much love and just so much support. Like as I said before, death is never easy, and trying to wrap your mind around death, and the death of a child is harsh. Trying to wrap your mind around that is very harsh as a parent. So my thoughts and prayers are with you, boo. Definitely not easy. All right, you guys, we're going to end this. And again, I will look forward to you guys next week. Right now, we'll just be doing the once a week for now. Again, make sure you guys are in the group. Of course, we'll be posting stuff in the group just to kind of talk with you guys and kind of, vibe with you guys. But definitely go over there and on this page. That'll be the two places to kind of look for stuff. Okay. So as always, we're going to send you guys so much love, so much light. Until next time. Bye.